Hello again. Welcome back to all of my doers, movers, and shakers out there in communities across the nation. My name is Edie, also known as the Community Lady, and I am sharing tips and general things I wish I'd known over my 20 plus years serving the community and creating and managing nonprofit organizations. So, we are still debunking myths about the grant writing and grant management processes. So, myth number 4, always request the highest proposed dollar amount outlined in the RFP. No, no. So, let's say that there's an RFP that is proposing grant awards ranging from $25,000 to, let's say, $150,000. Now, some people believe that you should automatically request the $150,000 just because. However, please, 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 please. No say. Okay, so do not request $150,000 to support your mentoring program that has served 5 to 10 girls annually over the spring break. Think about that just a little bit, okay? All right, so some may even be hard pressed to prepare a budget for the minimum award amount of $25,000. Others will use existing program data to perhaps scale the program up, maybe increase the number of girls served, hire additional staff, more supplies, etc., to at least justify an increase in the budget because you're proposing to serve more and do what you said you were going to do. With the 5 to 10 girls, you can now do it with, let's say, 50 girls. And then you would adjust your budget accordingly. However, even with that, a drastic jump from 25,000 to 150 just because, no. So, I have worked with clients who have insisted on asking for the highest proposed grant award range, even suggesting that I just make up some expenses to justify the inflated budget. I've also read narratives describing the need for unnecessary staff. Wow. So this one instance I'm thinking about, there was an organization, and they wanted to justify hiring a program assistant, an administrative assistant, and a clerk. Now, mind you, all 3 of these proposed candidates happen to have the same last name as the executive director. Please know that these types of requests stand out like sore thumbs, sore throbbing thumbs. Just don't do it. Request the amount of dollars that you need to run a successful program. No more, no less. You certainly want to include any administrative expenses, a percentage for that, and perhaps a percentage for miscellaneous expenses as well, wherever it's applicable. Ensure you have a good understanding about your target population, how many community members you will comfortably serve, which is your program's capacity, what equipment you need, what items you need, what services they need or could possibly benefit from. Examine your staff and your volunteers, your dedicated, consistent, reliable volunteers who you can count on if you're trying to determine how many adults or how many, quote, experts you need to serve the population. You want to be able to determine what ratio of those staff and volunteers you need to a set number of community members. I hope that makes sense to you. You also want to look at the food. Consider when you'll need food, what types of meals you'll serve, the transportation, how often you'll need it, and any other expenses, just to ensure that your budget, it fits very snugly with your budget narrative, that it fits snugly with the need you described, and that most importantly, your budget fits snugly with the program you've outlined. and the processes that you've outlined, so that if you're saying in your program that you're going to serve 50 people, then those numbers must be consistent throughout the budget as well and in the budget narrative. You want to be certain to say, hey, if this program serves 50, let's say middle schoolers, and you're mandated to have a staff volunteer ratio of 1 to 15, then you want to make certain that you have an adequate number of staff or explain the volunteers who will comprise that 1 to 15 ratio. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, let me know below. Okay, so let's move on. I'm actually going to do an upcoming Tech Assist talk on just tips on creating program budgets. Okay, so I think that's about it for now. Today's challenge. I'd like for you to open up Microsoft Word or any other word processing software. You may also grab a sheet of paper, and I want you to outline budget considerations for your program or your project. I'm intentionally not asking you to use Microsoft Excel because I don't want you to get into any formulas or anything yet. I just want you to think about it, like where if you're sitting here watching this video, if you're just chilling, looking at a movie, or just when you wake up in the morning, think about everything that you need to run the program. All of the considerations that I mentioned earlier as well. I gave you a few examples, but think about that. Think about what you need, providing a very detailed description of the expense. And then next to it, explain why the expense is needed or how the expense will support your overall program. Okay? So as always, leave your thoughts, your questions, any suggestions for future topics below. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep doing, keep moving, and keep shaking things up in your communities. Peace.
Working in community, no place I'd rather be. Working in community, lifting, loving, setting free. Don't know where